Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Alternative Football Coaching course. Today we are going to cover Module 3, which is about performance factors. Now before we begin today's lesson, let's get a quick recap of our last lesson. In Module 2 lesson, we covered the elite technique, with the learning outcome being mastering execution under pressure and understanding game evolution. In today's lesson, the key learning outcome is analyzing the physical and mental traits of professional players. Now, before we dive into today's lesson, please subscribe, like, and share the video. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next drop. So let's get started with the training.
All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on what it really takes to be an elite footballer. We're going to deconstruct the blueprint, the same framework that top coaches in Europe are using right now.
So, you ever watch a game and just wonder, what is it? What's the real difference between a good player and a truly great one? Is it just pure raw talent, God-given speed? Or is there something more, something engineered? Well, today we're going to dig into the science and find out. Okay, check this out. The UEFA A-License Guide uses this amazing analogy. Think of a player like a high-performance sports car. Their physical condition, that's the engine. It's all the raw power. But a massive engine is totally useless if you can't control it, right? That's where the steering comes in. And for a player, that's their coordination. So remember that. A powerful engine guided by precise steering. That's our framework for today.
All right, so let's pop the hood on this machine. We're going to look at the actual blueprint that builds these incredible athletes and figure out what makes them tick. So top-level coaching breaks it down into 4 big pillars: physical, psychological, technical, and tactical. And yeah, they're all connected, they all matter, but for today, we're zooming in on the physical, because really, it's the foundation. It's what everything else is built on. So let's get into it. First up, building that engine. What are the raw materials? What goes into creating that insane physical power we see every single weekend? Okay, so the engine has 4 main parts: endurance, speed, strength, and flexibility. But here's the game changer in modern coaching. They don't treat these as separate things anymore. The days of just sending a player on a long, boring run are over. Now it's all about integrating them to create one thing: football fitness. Let's start with endurance. And look, this is not about just being able to jog for 90 minutes. We're talking about football-specific endurance. It's the ability to make that gut-wrenching, lung-busting sprint in the 89th minute, recover, and then go again. It's about fighting off fatigue while still making those high-intensity plays over and over and over. So how do they build that? Well, there are a few ways. You've got the continuous method, for building a solid aerobic base. Then there's interval training, which is way more like the actual stop and start of a game. But the real gold standard, that's game-based training, small-sided games, or SSGs. Think about it. You're building endurance, but you're also making tactical decisions, using your skills. You're training the engine and the steering all at once. It's brilliant. Next up in the engine room, speed. And again, let's be clear, this is not about who's the fastest in a straight line 100-meter dash. In football, what matters is action speed. It's about how fast you react to that loose ball. How quickly can you explode into that first yard of space? It's about hitting your top speed at the exact right moment to blow past a defender. It's speed with a purpose. And coaches are smart about this. They train it in phases. It all kicks off with reaction speed. Basically, how fast your brain tells your body to move. Then you've got acceleration. That's all about winning those first few yards, that explosive burst. And finally, you have maximum sprints, hitting your top gear. Each part gets trained on its own. Okay, let's talk strength. And no, we are not talking about bodybuilding. This is functional strength. It's the raw power to leap over a defender for a header. It's the core stability to hold off a challenger while shielding the ball. It's that explosive snap you need to blast a shot. It's all about strength you can actually use on the pitch. And building that strength is a whole process. It starts with the foundation of just maximum strength. Then you convert that into explosive strength. That's where you see things like box jumps, all that plyometric stuff. And the final piece is strength endurance, which is just making sure you're as strong and powerful in the 90th minute as you were in the first. It's a really logical path from the weight room to the field. Okay, so we've got our engine built. It's powerful. It's ready to go. But now we have to control it. It's time to talk about mastering the steering system that guides all that raw power. First part of our control system, flexibility. And it's so much more than just preventing injuries, you know? Good flexibility is what lets a player pull off those extreme moves, that desperate last-ditch slide tackle, or stretching to bring down a high ball with style. That's flexibility in action. And here's something super important. Not all stretching is created equal. There's a huge difference. Dynamic stretching, the active movements, leg swings, that's for your warm-up. It gets the body ready to go. Static stretching, where you hold a pose, that's for after the game. It helps with recovery. Using the right type at the right time is absolutely crucial. And that brings us to the steering wheel itself. Coordination. This is the master controller, the direct line between the brain and the body. It's what lets a player sprint with the ball at their feet while their head is up, scanning for a pass. It's that beautiful, smooth mix of balance, rhythm, and reaction all working together.
And how do you train that? Well, you've definitely seen it. It's the fast feet drills through the agility ladders. It's those complicated circuits where they have to dribble and pass. It's reaction drills where they have to make a decision in a split second. Every single one is designed to sharpen that link between brain and body. Okay, so we've got the engine parts, we've got the steering components. So how does a coach actually put this whole blueprint together in a real training week? Let's take a look.
This is a great peek behind the curtain at how a pro training week is structured. See that? The really intense, high-speed stuff happens a few days before the game, when the players are at their freshest. Then, as match day gets closer, they dial it way back to focus on recovery. It just goes to show it's not just what you train, but when you train it that makes all the difference. And this brings us full circle, right back to what coaches call the ultimate integrator, the small-sided game. Because in one single drill, you're doing it all. You're building endurance, you're using action speed, you're showing strength, and you're guiding everything with your coordination. It is the closest thing you can get to replicating the chaos and demands of a real match.
So when you see that player on the pitch on a Saturday afternoon, what you're really looking at is a perfectly integrated machine. It's a powerful engine fueled by endurance, speed, and strength, being guided by the super precise steering of flexibility and coordination. That, right there, is the definition of football fitness.
So there you have it, the blueprint for an elite footballer, which leaves me with one last question for you. Now that you've seen all the parts, which piece of this whole machine do you think gets overlooked the most? Is it the powerful engine or the precise steering? What do fans, and maybe even young players, forget about the most?